champions. Now it's time to all of us actually fifth time college 7 will play out over.
Well, thank you. Double hit away here. I see your team one college in Jamaica. The round of the tour. They lost Kingston Technical by Eugene 100 guard. With 4 in for Charlie Smith. So let not under they were dumb.
Defeat. Even dogs, especially fight and resist. 20 assisted 1980 90
in is times that they are 1942 to mark their current base in Chapel. Charlie Smith have won in that fall for the school that began in 1975, changed of social work. Charlie Smith, let's break. All right, so order the female caster at all levels. She's supported by the flanks for her as the rest is the fourth. The start. Neil Vaslin goes. Timar done. Malak. Radcliffe Sivrite. and Kahim. Of a father, one outstanding, sports ball. What about Charlie Smith? Trevon Lowe, Miller, Damar Brown, Lennox Dwyer, and without Chris Taylor.
Smith has been a in the recent. I think this year, based on their, and kudos to Eugene with this unit. (11-4). Can imagine at school. Boys in blue again of the first game where the yellow reach the to that college, get the job done. Team in terms of what they've been. The fact that they don't teams that have lifted, it really puts since 1988. The 10 referee Goldson in Mortal Kombat. On the way. The game. High school, 5-1 the finals. Already through to the semis. Question. Join them in the last four. So tactical. Expected to be so once scored first.
Yes.
On you.
Parchment is just pushing off a couple of challenges. As it Balsa would. And the tall man wearing the goalkeeper Chad Green.
3-4-3 formation. What they always play. Previous game to execute all that. 4-3, even cover well, but it's one that Chad had a lot of success with. Jerome Waite made it.
College.
Regular 4-3-3.
Turned by Siv right out of a tight spot. Defender checks inside on his Rose. Strong right foot of Tevin Richards
for Charlie Smith.
Seen here, it was actually him onto Parchment to do, and as a big, he was a real no-nonsense kind of.
I wonder what he has in the backpack, Eugene. Knapsack carry. Go up. It bounces once, bounces. By the Charlie Smith defense. Expression of a few of them feeling that not good defending in your 18 years. But yeah, not clever defending either way.
Do better in terms of
trying to whip that one with the right.
And I think where they will have to adjust based on the breeds, because obviously they don't come from, well, their team is not based in Kingston, I should say.
Ball sprayed forward and trying to sprint that one down as Andre Gibbs, but aborted his effort. The ball was too long. Goalkeeper's ball all day, and Vassal out to his captain Rose. Jones, Parchment, Sivright, looks comfortable on the ball. Then Douglas, wide as they say in football, spreads it. Wider still. Clarendon College attacking from the flank. Good challenge there from Imari Foster to cut that attack short at the expense of a corner kick, it seems. Yes. So Clarendon College, as you'd expect, doing all the prompting in this game.
Charlie Smith will just try to hang around. Their main threat will come from Damar Brown, their number 9. But they'll just try to stay close to this Clarendon team and then sneak it near the end, probably.
Corner kick. Clears the first man. A bit of a melee. And in the end, it goes behind for another corner. The Charlie Smith, this is the second corner that they've conceded. And they've not looked clever defending either of them. So they've conceded 2 already. This is the third. And looked a bit shaky on those first 2. Let's see if Clarendon College can capitalize this time. Corner comes in. And flick near post. And they're appealing for another one. But the assistant referee on this near side says goal kick.
Clarendon College just one of 2 teams who have appeared in all 7 of the Champions Cup competition. It just shows their strength, especially in the Costa Cup region. Just themselves and Jamaica College, actually, who we just saw. This for Charlie Smith is their 5th appearance, so they have actually been pretty consistent. And it spoke to what we said about them over the years, that they, especially in the recent year, have not necessarily had the strongest unit, but Jerome Waite, Eugene Williams, Byron Earl and company have managed to get results with a limited talent pool, and it shows the real mental strength and fortitude of this unit from Arnett Gardens. They just have a never say die attitude. They were probably tipped to come 3rd or 4th in their Manning Cup quarter-final group, ended up coming 2nd and really putting up a good fight. That last game where they defeated Kingston Tech by 4-1 just shows their determination to move forward.
Sivright. Douglas goes wide again, this time to Dunn. Dunn wider still. Back to him. Skipper calls for it. And now Sivright. Jones. A lot of passes from the Clarendon College players. every time Steve Wright passes the ball, he demands the return pass. Almost like Theodore Whitmore in his latter days with the Reggae Boys. Almost as if he'd pass it to him and take it off his foot. Loves to be in possession, young Steve Wright. And the report from elsewhere is that Renardo Berger has given Kingston College a 1-0 lead in the 14th minute. KC playing against Mannings, the Manning school, those young boys from Westmoreland.
I think Mannings, size-wise, will struggle against the purple of Kingston College. The maturity of the KC players might just overpower them. Enterprising team, talented, fast, skillful, especially in the flank areas, Mannings, but the overall strength and maturity of KC, I think, will tell the tale after 90 minutes. But it's telling the tale after 14 already.
Yeah. So we are into the 12th minute of action, and the control that Clarendon College have exerted on the game in terms of ball possession is perhaps what the JC coach Davian Ferguson wanted his team to display. But here comes Jones, clips it into the box, headed away.
Good attempt by Jones. I'm actually a little bit surprised at the tempo that Clarendon College are playing at the moment. They actually play generally at a higher tempo, believe it or not.
Yeah. Parchment dribbles by his man. Can he get it in with the left foot? He does! Oh, chip forward! And the goalkeeper's pressure caused Rose to fluff his lines. Well, that was number 13, Kaheem Dixon. Was running onto a pass, the outside of the boot from Parchment. Look at him. Draw the man near and then accelerate away from him. Outside of the foot, unconventional cross from that position. And the goalkeeper's presence put off Dixon.
Great cross by Rashai. I think he probably went with the wrong foot though, Dixon.
Yeah.
Got to finish.
Here he comes once again, Parchment. Just a nice change of pace to beat his man. Yeah. Looks so comfortable with the ball at his feet, Rashai Parchment.
Now you see why Eugene Williams was saying, don't give him space, you have to close early, don't allow him to set himself and run at you.
Yeah, that was a shot uncontested by the man number 9, Timar Dunn. Williams exasperated with his team, saying that you can't give a man a free shot from there, and it was wide in there. And this is the cross that would eventually work itself, and Dunn, yeah.
Yeah, don't take him lightly. He's generally a left-footer, Dunn, but he's scored 4 so far this season. He's assisted 5, and a player who can play in a lot more advanced positions. The number 9, he's playing left back now, but very versatile. Timar Dunn.
Miscommunication between the two, Charlie Smith front, and here comes Dixon once again for Clarendon College. This one slipped into the box, into the general direction of Steve Wright, but out of his range.
Chad Green there, and as you said, George, full credit to him for pressuring the mistake from Dixon. And had it not been for him, it would have been a goal.
Good work by Charlie Smith. Ooh, that ball should have been, well, that should have been a cross, but he was desperate because the ball was almost running out of touch, and he had fought hard to win possession there. The man wearing number 9, Damar Brown. And desperate attempt at the cross, but only drove that ball into touch for a goal kick. This is him.
He is a threat.
Works himself around 2 challenges.
Yeah, strong player.
Yeah, there's his balance there. Escaping him at the end.
Does have an eye for goals. 7 goals on the season out of 13. So it just shows you the need for him to do well if Charlie are going to do well.
Rashai Parchment has an almost disdainful look when he has the ball at his feet and the defender comes to tackle, almost as if, why are you tackling? You're not going to get it. It's his posture on the ball.
Charlie Smith have always been known to produce potent strikers.
Yes.
There's one in an assistant coach on the bench, Byron Earl, one of the best.
Yes.
You've seen at schoolboy level as well. Damar Brown trying to make his statement, 7 goals so far. You remember Bebeto McDonald a few years ago, and Ronaldo Cephas a couple seasons ago. Why
aren't you talking about Marcelina Blackburn?
My apologies.
There you go. And the gem of them all.
Yeah.
They called him Pele for a reason.
Yeah. Kevin Wilson.
There you go, sir.
Former national player Christopher Dias.
Was Chris Dias a striker or a forward? He was a forward. The ones we've spoken about have been strikers.
Dias was more of a wing forward.
Yes.
Yeah, but
yes.
Played in the same team with Eugene Williams and Byron Earl in his young days.
I tell you what, as we see Parchment down after getting a tackle, may have taken a blow to the knee. Chris Dias was very good for Charlie
There is
Smith.
Byron Earl, by the way.
Yeah, Chris Dias was very good for Charlie Smith.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, but he was even better for Arnett Gardens in the Premier League, I can tell you. Yeah, it's a knee. Parchment getting clattered in the left knee by that swing.
Looking to slow him down.
Yeah, and he really a heavy blow because he's down. Never pay attention to players who get tackled and are rolling around, because the footballers will tell you that when you get a real blow, you don't have the time to be rolling around.
You don't want
and
to move. You can't
there
move.
you go.
Yeah, you're holding it.
Yeah. When you don't move, that's the time when you know it's really a heavy blow, as we get a shot of the man who answers to the name Big Head.
Yes.
He's proud of it, Eugene Williams, outstanding player in his time, and making his way as the Charlie Smith coach these days.
Then did a major surgery somewhere in his career, and then we never saw anything more from him, the centre back. And a man who feels that.
Ooh, the chance by Dixon, and the effort saved by Green. Chad Green, the ball came straight to him, but he did get hands on it nonetheless. And I always say 70% of goalkeeping is positioning, and he was in the right position when that ball recycled. So this is the free kick.
Good delivery.
Clarendon College winning the first header again and the second header, which Green kept out. Shot and effort by Rose, he missed kicks, and the ball bouncing awkwardly. Seafright trying to get that one goalwards. Parchment crowded out, still Parchment on the left foot. He's held up, back to goal, the ball clipped in. And the Charlie Smith can clear their lines from this position.
Poor decision.
Good pass up front, but he doesn't have support, Brown. Big diagonal attempted, trying to find...
Eugene Williams is going to have to make some adjustments, because obviously Clarendon College are easily penetrating the flank areas.
Yeah.
Too much space on both the left and the right side. They have not adjusted well to Rushai Parchment or Hull and Company on the other flank. So he's going to need to make some adjustments, because it's just a matter of time before they score based on what we've seen.
Yeah.
Now, Charlie Smith don't really change from 3-4-3, so I'm not sure if it's a personnel change you'll have to make, or go against the regular occurrence and change the formation. But if it stays like this, I think Clarendon is really going to have a joyride.
Charlie Smith will battle, but we knew heading into this game that Clarendon College may have had the edge on quality. As we look at this game, the producer was telling me that when he went to do prepare a feature on the Charlie Smith team, there was an argument about which of the teams was better, the 88 team, which won their first Manning Cup title, and the 95 team, the much storied 95 team, and the consensus was that the 88 team was better because they had more versatile players. Lovely by Seafright on the edge of his own 18-yard box, full of confidence, the young man.
Former coach Jerome Waite shares the same perspective, that he certainly thinks the 88 team. He said, the thing about the 95 team is that they were definitely better than everybody else. He said in 1988 the quality of the other teams are really at a high standard as well, so they had to, it really pushed them to the full extent. He said the 95 team was just head and shoulders individually better than the other teams around, and so it kind of made them look even better than he thought probably they were.
Well, far be it from me to criticize people.
But the Gang of Five was a big team
who were there and played. But for me, it would be the 95 team, because I'm looking at their legacy. What those guys did in terms of making Arnett Gardens a potent team in the Premier League for season after season after season, champions, contenders. They would get my pick, because it showed that what they did as schoolboys, that what they did wasn't a fluke. So I'd give the 95 team my vote, but again, men who were there said the 88 team, so I'd keep my trap shut. Crossman trying to race this down for Charlie Smith.
And Jerome Waite, who coached them as well, thought that the 88 team was a better team. But I want to tell you, if you really push them, they will actually tell you that the 87 team that lost in the semi-finals to Excelsior, they thought was probably even better. They lost 2-1 to Excelsior.
That may be so, but my producer is saying now that the 88 team won the Premier League as well. But yes, But the 95 team provided players that dominated the Premier League for a longer time than the 88 team did, and that's a fact. So the 95 team gets my vote, I would say. But, you know, again, back to this game. Clarendon College, the pass wasn't good enough from Malachi Douglas.
Well-known gang of 5.
Rose intercepts the captain, steps forward into his midfield looking for a pass. Uses Douglas. Dunn. On the overlap, Dunn isn't used, ignored for the minute. Heavy touch there. And it's back with Rose in defense for Clarendon College. They've controlled the game, they've made all the running. Look, the most dangerous team. Charlie Smith hanging on a bit. But in games like these at this level, you're going to have to do some of that sometimes, because you're going to come up against teams that are better ball-playing teams than you. And the Clarendon College team is a better ball-playing team than Charlie Smith. But that alone doesn't make a team win a football game.
And what I can tell you, as you said, ball playing, Clarendon College certainly better. What Clarendon College don't really like is the rough, aggressive play. They don't like when teams really take it to them in an aggressive manner. That is where Charlie Smith are very good. So that's where I think Charlie can probably unsettle them, if anything. And we've seen it so far. That the 50-50 duels, Charlie Smith have won.
Yeah, Crossman trying to hit Brown with that long pass, but cut out.
And I think also that's why Eugene has said to them, look, don't give them space.
Yeah.
Get on them right away.
Yeah.
You know, let them feel you.
The Clarendon College centre halves have been unperturbed in this game, have had a lot of time to make up their minds what they want to do. Not so for the Charlie Smith defenders, who had to be doing things in a hurry, doing things in desperation. That just shows you how the flow of the game is going. Steve Wright has dropped deep, links up back with his captain Rose.
I think back to that 2014 or 2015 unit of Charlie Smith that went to the Manning Cup final. Not necessarily the most talented unit, but very aggressive. Didn't allow teams a chance to settle. Went all the way to the final, and they really made a great contest of it.
Clarendon College always look dangerous when the ball goes into wide positions. The 1-2 doesn't really come off. Shoves his man to the ground, superior strength. Playing the ball there was Malachi Douglas, but he just couldn't turn a knot of legs in that 6-yard box. And yeah, and you just heard Lenny Hyde on the Clarendon College bench instructing his boys that you should have played that to rush eye, because Parchment was lurking in space towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but he wasn't found. There's the first water break of the game. Chris Taylor, assess what you've seen for me so far from a tactical perspective where both teams are concerned.
Well, I think we've seen exactly what we expected to see. Clarendon College on the front foot. I would like to see a little bit more intensity in terms of their pace of play. I think that when they're attacking with speed and running at the opposition from all areas, that they're a lot more potent, and they'll cause a lot more problems to Charlie Smith in terms of resetting. From a Charlie's perspective, I'm not sure what more they can do. I think that, as I said, talent not as much, but they need to continue to play aggressive. Don't allow the wide players to have so much room. So close down spaces as soon as they become available. It will require a lot of fitness, but if you want positive results, you will have to bring that.
Wow, that's what I mean by emotional intelligence. What to do and when to do it. It's the same thing Davian Ferguson said to the Jamaica College boys in the first half of the previous game that we carried on this day. Why are you so eager? Why are you almost playing anxious? Just pass the ball, just play normal. It's a long game, take your time. Perhaps, Chris, they want to do that, which accounts for the lack of tempo that you suggested, because some of them recognize that, all right, let's do what the coach says and just play circumspect and work ourselves into the game. We're in the 25th minute, and that's what the coach repeated just now in the water break. Why are we in a rush? Take your time, pass the ball around, is the message from Teacher Hyde to his boys in blue.
And I think the movement of the ball is also what he's complaining about in problem. And as I said, quick movement of the ball can make it seem, can assist the tempo. So it's not necessarily tempo, not necessarily meaning each individual needs to run with the ball. Yeah. And I think that's what they are doing. He's saying let the ball do the work.
Goalkeeper comes and gets 2 fists to it. Parchment is laid low by that intervention by the goalkeeper. Referee sees no reason to bring a halt to proceedings, and Parchment is back up anyway. Rose to Jones. Jones to Hull. Chris Hull started on the left-hand side for Clarendon College, has now come over to the right. There was something I saw in the break, Chris. Eugene Williams, the Charlie Smith coach, was talking to his team, and then he just turned away from the group in disgust, grabbed number 3, Christopher Wilson, and pushed him to go and warm up. So he may be a psychological ploy to tell the man who's usually replaced by Wilson that your time is going to be up if I don't get what I want from you, or he really is going to bring number 3, Christopher Wilson, into play very, very soon, because he's the lone Charlie Smith player warming up as we speak. And that came out of the water break where the coach himself told him to go and get ready. Ball cleared onto Mountain View Avenue. Breaking forward there was Imari Foster, a long busting run that was brought to an end by that big clearance out of the Clarendon College defense. And so Wilson has taken off his top. He's coming back with the intent, Chris, of a man who looks as if he's ready to enter the fray for Charlie Smith. I don't see anybody limping, so it looks as if there's going to be a tactical change made by Eugene Big Ed Williams early in this game, because he doesn't like what he's seeing from the boys in yellow.
Yeah, and he's spoken about the need for discipline within the unit as well. It's something that he's always saying. You talk to him, he's like, look, these youngsters need to understand discipline, especially based on background, you know, the need for fight, where we're coming from. There needs to be discipline, and I think a lot of his team selections as well, because there are other talented players who we've seen on the bench, and part of the reason they're on the bench is because of a lack of discipline. So it could very well be a situation like that where he's told a player that, look, I want this from you, I want to do this, and the answer or the response that he's got from them is not what he is wanting to see or hear. So that's all, folks, as far as he's concerned.
Yeah, Chris Hall riding a tackle, staying on his feet. Plays it to Dunn. Dunn wide to Rose off the left foot, blocked by the gangly figure of Foster. Beg your pardon, that was actually number 5, Daquan Green. And Williams is very unhappy because the substitute who he sent to warm up, Chris Wilson, had on an undershirt under his jersey, and he remonstrated with him to get rid of that and get rid of you. You're acting as if you don't want to play, and I need you now. So Wilson is bringing his paper to the 4th official, and we're going to have a change within half an hour of this game for Charlie Smith, Chris Taylor. Williams unhappy with what his boys are doing out there. Here's Dunn, robbed at a vital point, and shot forward by Tevin Richards, but blocked. And here comes Clarendon College in the transition through Chris Hull. Rose. Jaheim Rose. Can he find a pass to the edge of the 18-yard box? Shot by Siv Wright. It's blocked by the captain for Charlie Smith.
That shot was going well wide in any case.
Yeah. Blocked by Kareem Griffiths, but yeah, it was going wide, and the substitution is being made. Number 3 is coming in.
And just so you know, Wilson plays as a right forward, so it's interesting. It might actually be an attacking change. It's an attacking change he's making. And well, Tevin Richards usually a player that plays in the central midfield role. He's coming off, and Wilson, well, will be interesting to see where he asks Wilson to play.
I'm wondering if there's a medical issue, because Tevin Richards has gone to sit with the medics, Chris. So it may not be tactical after all, as that header fashioned goalwards. Meat and drink for goalkeeper Chad Green.
Yes.
So it looks as if Tevin Richards had an issue which was constraining his contribution to the game, forcing Eugene Williams to make the switch. Anyway, Christopher Wilson is on number 3.
Yeah. Let's see where Wilson. And he is in a forward role.
Yeah, the man who goes down in the box there is Kaheem Dixon on the challenge, was looking for something, but Narissa Goldson has seen better attempts at corner artistry than that in the past, and she's not been fooled. And there he is. Tevin Richards looks to be...
Yeah, doesn't look...
Yeah.
Looks a little dazed.
Yeah. Doesn't look to be all together here. We hope the young man is okay.
Yes.
Save right, wins with the ball high for Clarendon College. Plays it out to Hull. Hull on the left foot, very left-sided. Takes the 1-2. Still Hull. Still battling. And just as he was about to pull the trigger, just because Hull shoots low, the goalkeeper gathers at the second attempt. And yeah, that was very well worked between Hull and Kahim Dixon. Dealing with several defenders, trying to put them off, but still linking up very well. And Hull's low effort gathered.
Good work by Chad Green.
Adequately by Green. Crossman. Doesn't have any support. Robbed by Rose, the skipper for Clarendon College. Rose, look at him. Takes his time to survey his options and goes with Jones. Rose. They call him Mangala after Eliakim Mangala, an expensive player bought by Manchester City. Wasn't much good, but physically imposing.
So you're hoping that Rose will be better?
I'm suggesting that Rose was called Mangala because he looks physically imposing.
Yes, he does.
He clearly is a talented player.
Two Roses in the team, Jaheen and Jahim, no relation, and born 2 days apart.
Yep.
Same year.
If you look at the team sheet, you'd be tempted to think that they were twins.
Yes, yes. If you're not paying attention, yes.
Nice switch of play by Timar Dunn. Jones into play. Back to his skipper. Has seen a lot of the ball from his station at centre half so far. Rose, Hull, trying to turn out of a crowd of yellow shirts. Unsuccessful. Wins the ball back. Chris Hull, dangerous. With the left foot, trying to free Parchment. Who has switched flanks with Rose. Parchment now attacking from the left. And Hull, beg your pardon, attacking from the right.
Well done by Wilson. Maybe too much.
Yeah, running out of options there, Chris Wilson.
I can tell you, Eugene Williams will be happy with this. Frustrating Clarendon College.
Yeah.
Resolute in defense. Lots of numbers back, and he will take his chances on the counter. Man for man, he was not going to, well...
Green off his line in a flash, almost like Hugo Lloris or Ederson for Manchester City, reading the play early. And yeah, the sweeper keeper, Manuel Neuer, apologies to you, you're the one who has made this into an art form. Jones, inside to Siv Wright. Siv Wright bundled off it. Ooh, poor turn by Andre Gibbs. Still backing away is Gibbs. Oh, Gibbs sends his man into space. What does he do? Checks inside, goes down. The Charlie Smith bench screen penalty. Referee goes to says penalty. One man against the world. The substitute, Christopher Wilson. Eugene Williams, you are potentially a genius with the change you've made. You will be a genius if this ball is dispatched into the net from 12 yards. Gibbs fought, freed Wilson. Look at him, just check inside the defenders and goes down under Rose's challenge. Minimal contact, but referee goes to saying, yeah, yes, it is a foul. It is a penalty because Rose dangled the leg. Look at him with the right foot.
Oh,
yes, he did. It's a penalty all day, son.
Well played, Wilson.
And he's getting the applause of the Charlie Smith bench, who were up in unison appealing to the referee.
2-goal man Gibbs on the season, formerly of Jamaica College.
Gibbs versus Vassell. Gibbs, tall from 12 yards. Gibbs sends the keeper the wrong way. Charlie Smith have their noses in front. The underdogs are up on the scoreboard. And Clarendon College have a lot of work to do. Remember, in 2018, same competition, same two teams, same dynamics heading in, as we'll get a replay of the penalty, expertly dispatched into the corner, out of the goalkeeper's orbit. Clarendon College were favourites then. Charlie Smith, the rank underdogs. And at the end of the game, the underdogs went through. The favorites went home. Is that about to repeat itself in this game? The game is not that old. But Charlie Smith will take a lead at any time in proceedings. Let's see how they defend this lead, because to be certain, they are going to be defending this lead. Of all the schoolboy baubles on offer, the trophies, this is the one that has so far eluded Clarendon College.
Did get to the final in 2019.
Yeah.
And then lost to KC.
They'd say that they are luckless in this competition. And
well,
so many people are saying, Chris, that they would have been happy to draw Charlie Smith. I'm not so sure.
Well, they might say that the DaCosta Cup was going on a long time before they won it. So the fact that this competition is going on, they probably say they take a time to warm up in terms of winning competitions. So certainly this year is a big chance for them.
Eugene Williams still bellowing at his players, trying to get them organized for this corner kick, the corner to be taken by Parchment, the number 11 for Clarendon College. Low onto the near post and almost poor. Gets a second bite. Parchment again, get it clear. Not in much elevation on either the corner kick or the subsequent effort. Here's Rose, number 10. Parchment off the left foot, ricochets off a man in a yellow shirt. Parchment with another chance off the left foot once again, and the diving header, there seemed to have been a hand involved. Volley goal! Number 9, Timar Dunn on the volley, on the edge of the 18-yard box, through a crowd of yellow-clad players. And yeah, Charlie Smith's attempt at defending that sequence of play, not convincing. And the boys in blue are level. It's 1-1.
Did certainly seem like a handball, but look at this finish. I spoke to you about Timar Dunn's potency up front, his ability, does play in attacking areas, and a very talented left foot. Again, it was that man Rushai Parchment causing all kinds of problems. Definitely seemed like a handball initially. Wasn't called, but look at that for a finish. The left foot certainly better than the right, and 6 on the season for the number 9.
Oh, Chris Hull trying to outfox the goalkeeper there. Was running onto his right side for, well, if he had taken it with his right foot, he'd have been in a better position to get it on target, but his right foot, not his stronger foot. Just tried a cheeky early stab goalwards with the left foot, but wide in the end. Lenny Hyde not happy.
No. Well, you remember him as a player. Certainly likes to see good passing,
yes,
technical stuff. Especially why he said that at the water break to his team, that he just doesn't like how the ball is being moved. It doesn't look attractive, it doesn't look clinical, and that's what he's all about. Well, there's certainly a lot to be clinical about in terms of how Dunn finished that attempt.
Unmarked
yeah,
at the top of the box, just on the 18-yard line when he drew back that left leg for that volley. Controlled, didn't try to kick it too hard. Timar Dunn just wanted to get good solid connection, and that he got enough wood on it, and through a sea of yellow shirted players.
Budding statistician as well, I can tell you, George, the Clarendon number 9. In fact, most of the statistics and so on that you need on the team, it is actually Timar Dunn who I've had to talk to on quite a few occasions. The manager, Richie Palmer, says, hold on, I'm going to put you on to Timar. And he has a statistic on every player in the squad.
Yes.
Assists, goals, how many attempts inside the box.
Yes.
The Clarendon College number 9, there he is. We might have a place for him later on.
Yes. A different kind of bright when a youngster is bright with numbers.
Yes.
It says something different. It speaks to an ability to reason.
And his memory is phenomenal. I mean,
Well,
he doesn't have a paper to look at, he just knows them.
There you go.
In fact, coming into the game, I had Jaheim Rose on 8 goals, and he had to call me and said to me, you know, Mr. T, it's actually 7.
There you go. Sharp as attack. So we're back where we started, parity, but we have the 2 goals and we'll take them. Penalty for Charlie Smith, they went in front, but the lead was very short-lived. Dull equalizing for Clarendon College. A team that still seems to be playing in first gear.
Yes, I agree. Again, not the tempo that I'm used to, but no surprise that they've created the opportunity to get right back into it. I expect more to come, but Charlie will be looking to do just exactly what they did for that first goal. Play on the counter. When they do get a free ball, one-on-one, run at the defenders and hopefully create a mistake, which we saw.
Yeah. Turnover in midfield. Here come Charlie Smith once again. This is Gibbs. Gibbs tries his luck from distance. Looked up, saw that the goalkeeper was not on his goal line, because he wasn't off his line by any stretch. Just tried his luck and didn't come up lucky.
If he did see him off the line, then the technique to kick was wrong, or the option. Not a drive with the instep from there. You actually want to get under the ball to loft it over the goalkeeper.
And usually you don't try to beat the goalkeeper from that distance when the goalkeeper is on his 6-yard line, which is where he was. So, yeah. But the Charlie Smith boys will know that they can get at this Clarendon College team. The way they won the penalty and then scoring the penalty would have given them the confidence to know that they can hurt Lenny Heights' team. And so I'm suggesting to you that they'll be more confident and in better spirit than they were at the start of the game with this game at 0-0.
True, but it also might have been a real wake-up moment for Clarendon, hence they got back in it right away. And maybe now they'll say, okay, well, so you can score. Let us put this game beyond you.
Perhaps it is that as we enter the 42nd minute, Hyde will tell his players to, well, all right, let's move the ball faster. It goes back to a point you were making early.
And still too slow.
Yeah. Here's Hull racing on to this one. Nice touches under pressure. Ball forward into the vicinity of Parchment.
Good try.
Goalkeeper Green collects.
Yeah.
Has kept well for Charlie Smith in this game. Really, the ball was coming through several bodies, so he didn't have a clear sight of Dunn's volley. And he dived it the right way, but he was late. This is Wilson, the substitute who won the penalty.
Not sure if the wind of the field, or even the fact that stadium does feel like it can feel like a very wide field at times, if that has affected the pace at which Clarendon College want to move the ball, almost as if after making a pass they don't recover into the open areas quick enough, because it still has looked just a bit slow. And I actually think if they move the ball quickly, Charlie Smith will struggle a lot more.
Yeah, here's Hull. Drop deep. This is Rose. Parchment. Still not impressed with the pass. Parchment once again. Still Parchment on the right foot. Turns to his left. Puritan. Parchment with the shot. Oh yes. Blocked by 2 Charlie Smith men, and they come on the counter-attack, the men in yellow. Trying to find Gibbs with the early pass. Easily cut out by Rose. Sieve right. Waits for Jones on the overlap.
Actually, I think that was a good try by Wilson.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Ball back to Jones. Into the path of the man wearing number 13, Dixon.
No Clarendon College player in the box. Just slow in coming forward, as we said. A little bit too slow. A bit leggy.
Douglas shifts it to Rose. It's cut out. Dunn, the goal scorer once again, but the first touch was a heavy touch. Gibbs trying to fight Rose. Can't get around him quick enough. Oh, mistake. Oh, quick recovery from his central defensive partner. Ricardo Beckford, wearing number 24. Rose once again. So Gibbs has had to feed off scraps. Did dispatch the penalty. Had a shot on target. It's mostly been lonely for him up front. One centre forward against 2 centre halves, and it's a tough job. Clarendon College taking their time about it, very much unhurried. Jones back to his defender. The Charlie Smith team staying compact. No doubt the ball is being played around by Clarendon College to try to move the men in yellow around so they can then play into the spaces, but Charlie just take everybody behind the ball except Gibbs, who now seeks to get behind the ball himself. Hull with 2 defenders in attendance. can't get around. No, he wins back possession, Hull, and goes back to Sivrak. Jones. To Sivrak. A long spell of possession for Clarendon College. 3 minutes added on at the end of the 45 minutes in this first half. 3 minutes for stoppages. And it's in possession, Beckford. Back to Beckford from Rose. Very long spell of possession. This one is for Clarendon College. Again, trying to move the Charlie Smith pieces around, with Eugene Williams' boys staying compact. Mostly playing with 10 men behind the ball, Charlie Smith. Goes into the midfield to his namesake. Goes wide. Trying to find the goal scorer done, but it's too long for him. And here they come with Christopher Wilson, Charlie Smith. Ball finds its way to Michael Miller. Back to Wilson. Can he get there? Yes, he can. And he's bundled over by Beckford. So free kick in a wide position. Actually, it's the throw that Wilson collects. The cross comes in. The ball screws behind. It's a corner kick. So Charlie Smith have won themselves a corner in the 47th minute. Only about a minute or so of stoppage time to play at the end of this first half. And they blooded Clarendon College's nose early.
Sure, they'll be looking for the likes of Gibbs and Lanky, Daquan Green.
Yeah, can they do it again?
Very good aerially.
Being taken by Tyree Crossman. Crossman bends it in with the help of the wind header on goal off the crossbar. That was Kareem Griffiths getting up highest of all, heading it into the ground. It bounced and then came off the crossbar, the goalkeeper knowing nothing about it. And Clarendon College dodged a bullet. Dixon did well to retain possession for them. There's a man down for Charlie Smith just outside the 18-yard box. And referee Narissa Golson has produced the yellow card. She's flashed it. It's as if Wilson is the man who has gone into the book. Meanwhile, yeah, Wilson gets the yellow card for Charlie Smith. Up front, there's a Charlie Smith man laid low, beating the turf in frustration.
That was the challenge, not sure. Or this must have been the challenge.
This is the corner kick though, and look at how high. Well, he gets up unchallenged, the captain does.
Yeah.
Off the crossbar.
Just that bounce into the turf, taking it high over.
I'm wondering if it was headed onto the crossbar by Okimo Jones.
Yes, he looked like he got a touch as well.
It's a goal-saving interception.
I mean, had it not gone into the turf, you'd have liked his chances of stopping it as well. So good defensive work by CC.
Positioning is everything. So Charlie Smith have scored a penalty and have hit the crossbar against mighty Clarendon College. Not a bad first half's work for Eugene Williams' men. And Narissa Golson has seen enough of the first half. 1-1 after the opening half of this quarterfinal match. The favourites, Clarendon College, heavy favourites coming into the event, into the contest, being made to work hard by a plucky Charlie Smith team. Not the same amount of talent, but no shortage of commitment from the men in yellow and brown. And yeah, they'll be satisfied for the most part with what they've been able to do in the opening half of football of this ISSA Champions Cup quarter-final. 2 goals in the first half of this quarterfinal clash between Charlie Smith and Clarendon College. The ISSA Champions Cup is the event. A penalty to open the scoring from the boys in yellow, and an equalizer, a good equalizer from the men in blue. The highlights of the first half, the corner kicks. Charlie Smith didn't defend them well at all, didn't convince. This man was good in spurts for the boys in blue. This goal, well, this effort went wide. Chad Green, the goalkeeper, sprinting out, making it difficult for Kahim Dixon, and then getting himself in the right position to block from Christopher Hull's headed effort. And then Dixon and Hull will work this nice intricate play. They shot low and hard, but goalkeeper Green equal to it. And then Wilson, the substitute, sent into space. Watch him check inside the challenge from Rose, the captain, but Rose dangled his right leg. Wilson cleverly went over, and it gave Gibbs a chance from 12 yards to put his team in front, and he did so expertly. Nerveless penalty from Andre Gibbs into the right corner, and sending goalkeeper Vassal diving the wrong way. It wasn't a lead that lived for long though, because here's Parchment on this side. And from the Malay, look at Dunn from the edge of the 18-yard box, waving his left foot like a wand. Didn't try to hit it too hard, was more concerned with placement than everything else. Did get power behind it though, and he walloped it through the crowd and beyond the dive of goalkeeper Chad Green for 1-1. Clarendon College will believe that the quality of their play in the first half deserved that equalizer. And then with one of the last kicks of the first half, the captain for Charlie Smith getting up and heading down, but Okima Jones got the faintest of touches onto it, helping it onto his crossbar and out into safety. 56% possession controlled by Charlie Smith in the first half. Are my eyes deceiving me? Well, that's what the statistics say. There were 4 saves in the game, 3 by the Charlie Smith goalkeeper Chad Green, and there were 14 shots in all. 3 shots on target by Charlie Smith, 5 by Clarendon College. Not many fouls, 3, 2 for Charlie Smith, 1 yellow card, that going to the substitute Wilson, Christopher Wilson, for Charlie Smith. And there were 4 corners in the game, 3 of them going to Clarendon College. I wonder what Cody has up for Steve where the fans are concerned in this game.
Wow, interesting 45 minutes there. The scores are leveled 1-1. Both Charlie Smith and Clarendon College have scored a goal. Charlie Smith's first goal came from the penalty box and quickly followed by Clarendon's goal. So I must say both teams have been performing exceptionally well in the first half. Let's see what will happen in the second half. Now we're going to hear what the fans are at home saying. We have a few predictions. Again, Diligence Williams says Clarendon College 3, Charlie Smith 1. Nathaniel says Charlie Smith 2, Clarendon College 1. Kimmy says win, lose or draw, Charlie forever. And Blake says this is an easy win for CC. Now earlier on we were asking our viewers to predict who the man of the match will be, and Dimple said Timar Dunn, number 9. Now we're gonna see, right, because he scored for Clarendon College earlier on. So can he be, or will he be, the man of the match? We're going to take a break, and when we come back, you'll have second half action.
La Liga lives on the home of champions, and Levante and Mallorca lock horns on Saturday morning. 9 a.m. if you're outside Jamaica, 8 if you are here. And then Valencia and Real Madrid, traditionally one of the marquee fixtures on the La Liga calendar. This one takes place Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m. outside Jamaica, 3 p.m. inside on SportsMax 2. So we're getting set for second half action in this quarterfinal ISSA Champions Cup clash between Charlie Smith and Clarendon College. This Champions Cup, the only major schoolboy football title, well, the only schoolboy football title for which they're eligible that Clarendon College have never won. And they've been to the final, lost out to the famous Purples, Kingston College, and they're hoping to set the record straight this year. But first, they'll have to get past a Charlie Smith team that has given them a good game so far, if the evidence of the first half is the only recommendation, notwithstanding form and the like. Charlie Smith would not be unhappy with how they played in the first half, especially because they got that goal, Chris Taylor.
Yeah, Charlie Smith, I don't think will be changing much of what they have done in the first half. Solid back line, looking to defend in numbers, and then looking to express themselves on the counter.
10-second countdown well underway. In about 2 ticks, referee Goldson will send them on the way for the second half, and she does so. So Charlie Smith didn't look to possess the football as much as Clarendon College did. They don't have players who really are adept at that, but what they're good at doing is scrapping, battling, and they did that with aplomb over the opening half. Here's Wilson, the man who was a first half substitute, who won the penalty. Looks to have some skill about him, and pushed over there by the goal scorer Dunn for Clarendon College.
Yeah, he's done well since coming on, young Wilson. Good energy, quick on the flanks, nifty footwork. Very short in stature, so center of gravity good.
Chris, I was telling you that when he was coming on, he had an undershirt that was showing beneath his jersey, and the coach, Eugene Williams, lit a fire, incandescent with rage, and instructed him to take it off. You're acting as if you aren't ready to go onto the field. And Wilson took his own time to take the undershirt off, but then he came on and did the business. Yeah. That's the crucial bit.
He's been everything but ready. Yes. Well, everything.
Williams has sat down. Maybe the knapsack is getting heavy for him. Eugene Williams didn't sit at all in the first half, while Lenny Hyde didn't stand at all in the first half. Williams joining Hyde in repose on the Charlie Smith bench. Here they come through Christopher Hull. Saw a lot of the ball in the first half, the danger man. Wilson once again for Charlie Smith. Works it to Gibbs. Gibbs on the overlap, but Wilson, wrong move. Tried to go inside where the crowd was, where the bodies were, and lost possession. From a distance, Chris, Andre Gibbs, the number 10 for Charlie Smith, the man who scored the penalty, he reminds me of a man from that part of Kingston who now plays in Russia, Spartak Moscow. And I'm talking about the man they call Boza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Shamar Nicholson. From a distance, the hairstyle and the physique.
Yeah, physique, certainly.
An inspiration for men from everywhere in Jamaica, Shamar Nicholson, with where he has taken his career to.
Where's the number 11?
Yeah,
for the Reggae Boys.
And they're reminding me that he never played schoolboy football. And from the moment I saw him for Boys down in the Premier League, Shamar Nicholson, I was telling Lance Lance that this man doesn't deserve to be here. His talent should be paraded at a higher level.
Well, he's heard you.
There you go.
He's made it up.
Oh, yes. All right, so Williams is up and bawling out his players once again, Eugene, the Charlie Smith coach.
I was about to tell you, he was just taking a small break.
It was intermission.
Yes.
Dixon is pushed over for Charlie Smith in a dangerous position, Kaheem Dixon. And they have exponents of the dead ball, the men from Chapelton. This should be an opportunity for them to score. Pushed over there by Michael Miller.
This would be suited for more right footer from this angle. I think Jaheim Rose will probably be favourite. Timar Dunn wants to say, but with his left foot, I don't think so.
Hull looks interested as well, Chris, with the left foot. What you're saying, bad angle for the left footer.
Well, unless you're brilliant from the dead ball with the left foot, this is more suited for the right footer. We have seen left footers, of course, produce excellent kicks from here. And it depends on how the wall is set up. They'll also try and trick the wall in terms of attacking team. That's part of what you learn on the training ground. So you give the impression that the left footer is going to kick so the wall moves, and then the right footer kicks it instead. So I think it will be Rose.
It's a three-man wall. Rose, Chad Green bouncing on his line, the goalkeeper for Charlie Smith. Hull and Rose in partnership for Clarendon College. It's Rose, swings it for goalwards, easy into the trap of Chad Green. Trying to get his team out quickly, but they're only now two men have drifted into the Clarendon College half. We're very slow to get out Charlie Smith. Perhaps by design.
Free kick started to bend way too early.
Hull has some speed.
Taking those kind of dead ball kicks, you have to aim for outside of the goal. So by the time the bend takes place, it's into the far corner.
Yeah.
Once you're bending the ball and you're already you bend it inside of the goal, it's always going to end up in and around by the goalkeeper in a central position.
Free kick for Charlie Smith. Deep inside their own half. Sieve right. Wins back position. Rose. Oh, turns in front of him. Not much else. Slows the play down, Wilson. Waiting for more support. Yeah. Applauded by the Charlie Smith men on the bench, by the men on the bench for Charlie Smith, Christopher Wilson. 2004, so he's what? Gonna be 18. Getting away from Rose, stepping inside the challenge from to grab a little bit of his jersey and bring him down. Has been Charlie Smith's.
In fact, just turned 17, what, some 6 weeks ago. So
6 weeks is not just notice, that's a month and a half. Tyree Crossman with this free kick that he'll deliver left-footed. Yard box, flights it to the back post. The goalkeeper goes up and he lands awkwardly. Does Jamil Vassell. Took it well. And rolling around. We'll need the application of the magic spray of his defender Rose, and one of the Charlie Smith attack hard. Ooh, from an awkward height. Yeah, that looked painful. I'm forgetting which footballer it was recently, Chris, who missed a game in one of the big European leagues. May have been listed as a bruised tailbone. So I was like, well, don't they say the back? They say the tailbone. It's the first time I was hearing the is okay. He looks to be fine.
His tailbone is intact.
You just imagine the discomfort. I remember,
yes,
leading up to the France 98 World Cup, you'll recall the former captain Belda,
yes,
missed that tournament for Spain because of a twisted testicle, which he suffered in a league game, but didn't recover in time for the World Cup, which was a few weeks after that particular incident. Back to the game. Hull back into
you
Rose.
have me shuffling around on my chair.
Pass across to his captain Rose. The attacking players in his team. So shows you the way the football is spread around this island, because Clarendon College. 5 of the starters for them this afternoon. From of Clarendon College, because over the years a lot of their best players have been from the corporate area. So yeah, the Kingstonians doing their bit to Clarendon based institution. They come on the attack. Here's Parchment once again on the left foot, picks up his head and drives an effort forward, blocked. Man to beat. Chris Hull gets support from the goal scorer. Dunn whips in across, looks good, and the header on goal. Chad Green had to watch and then effected the save. It was ungainly, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't textbook, but it was effective. It out to Dunn. Watch the whipped cross, nice cross, and the goalkeeper using his crossbar to help him out. They say the crossbar and the upright. Dunn deep and working, losing out. Wilson looking for a pass out. He gets it. Calm on the ball, the diminutive man. And for Charlie Smith, really wouldn't look out of place in a blue shirt, the way he is comfortable on the ball. Pushed over. Appealing to the 4th official, he wants a card produced for that. The Clarendon College coach. Teresa goes and telling him, well, she's telling Dunn to be calm, but she doesn't produce a card, much to the chagrin of the knapsacked Eugene. This is his captain, Griffiths. Foster under pressure, under too much pressure. Plays it into touch. Dunn. Oh, lovely play from Daquan Green, tallest man in the play park, and then as if to make me look like a Dunn once again for Clarendon College. This is Rose, back to Siv Wright. Hull wants it. Down the left flank, gets it down the left flank. Ball is turned over to Charlie Smith. What can they do on the counter attack? Nothing, because Beckford steps in with the big foot. In its infancy. Clearly Hull was trying to con the referee because he got no call and he for the men in blue. This is Malachi Douglas. Hull has Griffiths isolated, trying to work around him. Hull into a bigger cross than he wanted to be. This is Parchment, walks around his man. Parchment slips it into the 6-yard box. Still Parchment. Green goes down and is hurt in the process. May have taken Rashai Parchment, both players down. And the referee some refreshments, even as she summons some attention from both benches. This is Parchment going in for the challenge, slipped, and it was in slipping that he caught the goalkeeper with the left foot, but in sliding caught Chad Green.
Both are moving, so it's a good sign. Brave goalkeeping by Chad Green. He's been good between the sticks, Green.
He has been Charlie Smith's.
And he's made some telling saves thus far.
towards the attackers. Wilson wins the penalty and has generally looked very good. And the goalkeeper is saving them between the sticks, and he has saved tended to look at the attacker. When you look at which of them have been more impactful, it's because goals win games. Yes, that's the currency that footballers trade in, and Wilson provided reason back with some dollar bills.
The expectation has been that, though, that very busy, so it's not really a surprise that he's had. Charlie Smith would be in this position after 60 minutes.
Yes, sir.
All square. And on par in terms of goals scored.
Williams was passing on some information to him, his key lieutenant. Every coach wants to have one of those. And of course, they want the whole team to do that, but it helps when you have a man who more than anybody else can represent you. This is the man that Williams is channeling the instructions and
he does have another talented player on the bench, Carl Petgrave, wears the number 8. Good for Charlie, I'm sure at some point he's another one that was left out due to discipline.
Dixon down and found himself in an awkward position, but had his hands in the right place. And again, not pretty, not a wicked shot on the turn from Dixon from distance. And all you want, he did it. Will win no points for elegance.
He did very well.
Jones with this corner kick to the back post, and he throws it into touch forward. So Chad Green making another large part of why this game is still level. Controlled by Miller. Trying to free the man wearing number 9, Damar Brown. Brown still in possession, gets up. Post up Gibbs. Rather ungainly. I'm not sure if he was shooting or passing. Perhaps blinded by the sun. I see him now shielding his eyes as if to say, yeah, the sun was in my eye. So caught in two minds. Christopher Wilson. Clarendon College taking the 63rd minute. I could understand this approach in the first half, or if they were leading. Unhurried, playing at their own pace, unconcerned by the clock. I guess they can turn up the wick whenever they so please. Here's Sivrite collecting short. Lenny Hyde hasn't seen reason to leave his seat just yet. Has been sat in that same position. Dunn. Here's Rose around the corner to Dunn. Ooh, and a hard. Putting himself, his body on the line. Dunn fouls him. And Charlie Smith win that free kick. This is the third time that Dunn has fouled Wilson, holding up 3 fingers, the honored Gardens coach. Clarified that the call is Clarendon College free kick. To the astonished. This is Dixon. Dixon takes a shot. I wanted to curl it to the top left-hand corner, but had it wrong. Look at Williams, exasperated. And look at the contrast. No, he shows his worries from a sedentary position while he stands and complains.
did as a centre back when he was a player. He's fit, I can tell you, Eugene Williams. Not easy. Oops, that takes a lot of vocal ability.
You know who else does that? Andrew Price. But he's coaching at Homeland. Good afternoon, wherever you are, Andrew. Imari Foster getting up. Well done from Eugene Williams. Which is earning his money. Here's Hull. Trying to curl it in, headed away. Right, has another chance. Looking for a passing option. Smith are in transition. If he lifted his head up, he'd have seen Wilson in space. Brown, but he didn't lift his head up. Again, Wilson now. You have a passing option. Unhurried, look at him, surrounded by blue shirts. He loses out on that occasion though. This is Hull. Into the path of Dick. That goes up for offside. He doesn't see it yet, but yeah.
Definitely made a move.
It's an odd game because we've had no offsides, so we've waited 65 minutes for the first offside to be called in the game.
These are balls over the top.
And even so, the Charlie Smith boys defend very deep, so
yes.
Catch anybody offside.
I've been disappointed by Clarendon College in terms of their time, and maybe they know something we don't clearly, because I can tell you this, Eugene Williams wouldn't mind this scoreline at all. At the end, as we said earlier,
yes, sir.
This suits him, this kind of scoreline as a lottery, one that he has won before against Lenny Hyde.
Jones. Parchment looking for Hull at the back post. Hull's header is cleared, not quite off the line, but out of the and finds the goal scorer done. Evades Wilson's challenge. Can't beat Brown's challenge, and now Wilson chops inside his man. Still Wilson, he goes down under the challenge, and Eugene Williams wants a. He's bawling at the fourth official. Why is that not a yellow card? The Charlie Smith coach is saying. Anyway, down under a challenge again. Ricardo Beck for the heavy tackle, and the referee says no free kick for young Wilson. That was a heavy challenge. Did he get all ball, Chris Taylor?
There were two so clattering into Wilson. It was a hard challenge. No surprise that it's a hard challenge, because I think they're a little bit fed up with to be a nuisance.
And his impudence on the ball. As I said, he's playing like he's handling. He's what you call likes to have it at his feet. Christopher Wilson, and sent to the respective touchline, respective benches for some refreshments. The Charlie Smith boys.
Eugene Williams has taken himself away from the crowd. He doesn't want to hear anything for now.
Teacher talking to his Clarendon College boys, as we're going to show you some highlights of this game so far in this quarterfinal of the ISSA Champions Cup during this water break. Good between the sticks for Charlie Smith. And then to save from Christopher Hull, the near range header, then saving from Hull's shot. Palming that one onto his crossbar and gathering the second time, and then low, ungainly, but Christopher Wilson falling on the Rose's challenge, asking Andre Gibbs to do the business, and he did from corner, and then Parchment had a lot to do with weight at the edge of the 18-yard box. I love that goal. A swing and a connection, flush, and the volley beats Chad Green. Yellow card. She may book Eugene Williams for interfering with her. No changes from Clarendon College thus far. We're in the 70th minute. Remember that for Tevin Richards. Here's Brown for them to give the touch into Wilson's path, but the touch didn't come. Here's Siv Wright for Clarendon College, over the top. And Green, effective once again.
It's the Wilson Green show.
Yes, sir. Rose. Parchment. Back to this. Sliding was Kareem Griffiths, the Charlie Smith captain, to take it off the boot of Dunn. Eugene Williams instructing them to stand to the blade of grass. The Charlie Smith boys. The defending by Imari Foster gets the well done verbal from the coach Eugene Williams. Clarendon College seems that they're about to make their first change. A man wearing Marcus Reed. What is he likely to bring to the party, Chris, when he gets on?
Generally a starter in this team. As well. Former reggae boy.
Producer was telling us he's the son of Roderick Reed.
I was mixing him up with the ex-KC man who now plays in the Premiership.
For Tivoli Gardens is
Tivoli,
Tivoli Gardens is best. Better impact substitutes I've seen in Premier League history in Jamaica, and I'm struggling to think of one who just lifted the Roderick Reed didn't, but when he was someone that he came on, oh, that was worth your entrance fee. Walks away from that challenge. Rose into the path of Siv Wright once again, but Green will gather. Yes, he does. Under pressure he was. We're in the 74th minute. There seems to be a problem with Siv Wright for Clarendon College. He got kicked in the belly and winded for a spell. So the aforementioned Marcus Reed getting ready to come in for Clarendon College, their first change. And Parchment, Rashai Parchment, is the one we hear who's going to be pulled. So Marcus Reed on the long road to having a better career than his father, as I told you. Roger Reed had one game for the Reggae Boys, I can remember, World Cup qualifying. And his son would hope to have many more caps for the senior national men's team. Anyway, far away from that. Here's Charlie Smith Wilson, wanted to head but fouled again by Dunn. And Eugene Williams, I don't have to tell you his reaction. He's saying again, referee, same player, knocking my player over again. Narissa Golson ignores him. After all, she's in charge. Here's Wilson. And barged into by Dunn. Didn't see anything wrong with that. Yes, it was a foul, but no malice. And yeah, Parchment, his race is run for Clarendon College. Takes his seat, and young Marcus Reed, a bit small for his jersey, but he'll grow into it. Game not going according to script for Clarendon College so far at all. 76th minute. They're making heavy weather of this Champions Cup quarterfinal clash against a team that every pundit had them beating comfortably. But football isn't played in a television studio or on a radio program or in a newspaper column. Played on the pitch, and on the pitch so far, Charlie Smith have so far been the equal of this Clarendon College team. Dunn's long throw, chest pad, uses Reed into the action, immediately goes over, and referee Golson quick to go to her top pocket to produce the yellow card. Trevon Lowe gets it, and Eugene Williams is very upset. He's saying, oh, that tackle warrants a yellow card? When my players have been on the end of so many fouls, so many hard fouls. He's box office by himself, Eugene Big Ed Williams.
But he's been called over. They've been called over as well to the sideline. I'm sure probably a yellow card will be
What did I say to you earlier?
Yeah.
Didn't I say that he'd be booked?
Yeah.
And here it is. Narissa Golson is tired of him. She's saying, Eugene, you talk too much. You're telling me how to do my job. I'm the expert. Oh, she's booking his assistant as well. Yes.
Oh.
So Byron Earl has been booked. Eugene Williams has been booked. Let's see if that acts as a metaphorical, well, not even metaphorical, if that acts as a muzzle.
A kitchen enough for that. I do what this man.
All right. I'll not add to that. So people are upset. They say a lot of things, and yeah. Eugene Williams, unapologetic, still sounding off. Now the fourth official is talking to him. She's also talking to Byron Earl and what looks to be a school official on the bench, trying to control their emotions. Meanwhile, Jones lines up this free kick for Clarendon College. We're into the 78th minute. Goes for goal, Jones. Meat and drink for Chad Green, who's had much more difficult saves to make this afternoon and has done them well. Wilson was upset just now with his goalkeeper, Chad Green. He wanted the goal kick to be taken so much earlier. Here they come, they win the ball. Oh, lovely pass, lovely move by Gibbs. And let's see if the yellow card won't come now. The Charlie Smith bench up in arms, and yes, Narissa Golson will book the skipper Rose.
Would have been at least a yellow. In fact, that might have been an orange, because it will be interesting to see whether there was someone else coming around to assist Rose, because if not, then he's the last man.
I like this play. Look at it.
Look here. Who else is coming to help Rose? Well, the argument might be that
from Beckford. Beckford is coming across, yeah.
So it's an orange, because it's arguably whether Beckford would have got
between
there.
Yellow and red. Correct you are, sir. But yeah, it wasn't a red because Beckford was covering for him.
Yeah.
All right. But lovely move by Gibbs, though.
Yeah. I said this is a kind of moment. 10 minutes to go. Clarendon College frustrated. You can see the captain there. He's not happy at all with the work of his defense line. They thought this would have been an easy game, the two-time defending the Costa Cup champions, but Charlie Smith have done everything but that, and just the kind of situation where they would try and nick it.
I tell you what though, Chris, had Gibbs been allowed to run free, it would have been 2-on-1. It would have been Gibbs and Wilson against Beckford defending for Clarendon College. It was a very good foul to give by Rose.
It almost looked a little further than it was initially.
Yes. Anyway, Gibbs has an interest, so too does Tyree Cross, but it will be Gibbs' shot. Low! Ooh! Punched away by the goalkeeper. That was struck with some venom. Jamil Vassell getting down low to his left and keeping it out. That That was hit with some, that was traveling at nuts.
Good strike. Good technique from Gibbs. Not sure what that was.
Very odd decision from Foster. A wild slash at that ball. And he's left his team in trouble. Here comes Clarendon College. Into the path of Dixon. Lovely ball over the top. Charlie Smith trying to organize their defense. Dixon's cross into the box. It's early. But the direction is not good. Nice tackle by the captain Griffiths, winning a 50-50. Has Wilson to his right. Oh, he takes a bad touch. He takes a bad touch, Griffiths. Much to the chagrin, the consternation of his teammates on the bench. Here comes Clarendon College once again, Marcus Reed. 81st minute. Outside of the foot, pass into the path of Save Right, but he didn't take it properly.
What a save by Green. That ball was going into the back of the net off the defender.
It was inadvertently turned goalwards by the Charlie Smith defender because Sivright didn't catch it well. Look at Reed. He manufactures a cross with the outside of the right foot. Sivright controlled, but then the Green goalkeeper came to his team's rescue.
Green has been brilliant. Good reflex save by Green. Why did Sivright need to take a touch though? I am a bit surprised.
It was in that awkward place between the stomach and the thigh. So he couldn't kick it, he couldn't chest it. Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, it was difficult. It was difficult. Thought he would have gone for the high side-footed finish.
It was too high for that.
Oh, well, too bad.
Very good defending,
yes,
and very good goalkeeping by Green. Green has been outstanding in this game. Whatever happens, he can reflect on an individual job well done. Won't mean a thing if his team don't go through, though, he'll tell you, as he prepares to help his team defend this corner.
Within, yeah.
Dunn is on corner kick duties, it seems, for, well, no, it's Jones.
Dunn is in the box.
Yeah. Comes in near post, headed clear. Gibbs finding himself in an unnatural position.
Nice play.
Good pass out of defense. Needs another good pass. Yes, it does. Wilson is to the right. This is Brown. DeMar Brown for Charlie Smith. Oh, he gives the ball away with a rather harebrained decision to go inside. Didn't have the pace to get around Rose.
Ah, that was poor by Brown. That's the worst option he could have taken.
Charlie Smith come once again. Checks into the, checks onto his right foot, but the defending was good. And Michael Miller.
Yeah, Michael Miller. The mistake Charlie Smith are making is they're trying to do it individually when they get up front.
Correct, you are.
Still teamwork needed when you get in and around the 18-yard box. Trying to be a hero, but sometimes the best thing is to share the glory.
And you know what? A couple times they've broken, and Wilson has been in space on the right side, and the pass hasn't come to him because, as you've said, the man in possession is trying to do it by himself.
Yeah. And based on the game Wilson has had, I would back him to score.
Oh, yes, sir.
The confidence that he has shown.
This is Daquan Green, tallest man on the pitch. Oh, he makes a bad pass. It comes to Rose. Rose into space for Hull. Hull with Dixon to his right. To his left, beg your pardon. Still Hull. Hull trying to work the left-footed shot. Blocked. And very well defended by Charlie Smith in the end. Trevon Lowe getting his body in a good position. Going down, no foul on the play. This is still Hull. Nice scoop pass to Sivright. Sivright's first touch is good. Challenged in the box.
Excellent defense.
Both men go down. No foul, says Narissa Golson, the referee. And she'll have to call a halt to proceedings because the captain for Charlie Smith, Kareem Griffiths, is down. And so too is Sivright.
Yeah. Griffiths got a toe to the ball and then Sivright followed through into him. Very good defending.
The SportsMax app moment is coming up now. And no prizes for guessing that it would be a play by Chad Green, the goalkeeper for Charlie Smith. And this is that moment, a snapshot on the turn from Kaheem Dixon. And he went low. The ball bounced awkwardly. Had his body in the right position. His hands were free to just punch through and push through the ball up and over behind him. That's the SportsMax app moment. The stretcher sent for Siv Wright for Clarendon College. Radcliffe Siv Wright. But leaves the field on his own steam. It's rather unusual to see a child born in the 2000s being named Radcliffe. It's an old school name. In the same way, now I wouldn't call my son George. That would be a huge burden on the young man. It's not a contemporary name. It's a classical name, a name of kings, but it's rather dated. Christopher isn't bad at any time. Chris, someone say outdated. George can't be outdated because kings have been called George. Yeah.
Are they saying that kings are outdated?
There you go. You know,
maybe.
Shot and goal blocked. Charlie Smith trying to clear their lines. Clarendon College trying to keep on the pressure. This is Hull. Works it onto the left foot. Dances inside. One challenge. Low shot. And it's off target. 87th minute.
This is Charlie territory. Known for this. Stubborn defending. Close shaves but escaping. And then something out of nowhere.
Can they pinch it late? Can they live up to their best traditions, Charlie Smith?
This has been an unlucky competition for Clarendon College over the 7 years of its duration.
So if we are at 90 minutes, at 1-1, or at a, well, if it ends in a draw, straight penalties, no extra time being played in this competition, but we're some way away from that. Dixon trying to work himself around the tackle, and he does. Strength and tenacity to get through the tackle, but he's shot wide with Christopher Hull saying to him, well, it was a simple pass to your left to me. But Dixon fought his way through the tackle, rode through the tackle from Daquan Green. And Hull, look at him on the edge of the 18-yard box saying, it was a pass to me that you should have made.
The players always say that, but
always say
when
that.
you're in an advantageous position in terms of a shot on your strong side, the tendency is to want to take it and finish.
Number 11 coming in, Charlie Smith making their second change. Harris Bailey coming in, and number 4, Trevon Lowe, is coming out.
I wonder if these changes, penalties in mind. Clarendon looking to make a change themselves. As I said, no extra time, which puts a totally different complexion on the game. And as I said, one that I think if you told Eugene Williams at the start of the game, he would certainly have taken it.
Here's Marcus Reed though. Left-footed cross. Cleared partially. Back with Malachi Douglas. Trying to work the right-footed shot angle. Siv Wright trying to dance around the challenge. Dixon going down. Referee says penalty. Clarendon College have won a penalty in the 89th minute.
Wow.
She was certain, didn't dither over the call at all, referee Narissa Golson. The moment the infringement happened, whistled to her lips, and the outstretched left hand, left arm to indicate. Let's see the replay here, the slow motion replay.
How is that a penalty? You got to be joking there. That was a situation with Dixon kicking the back. Where's the foul here? Whose foot is in front? Dixon makes contact with the Charlie Smith defender.
Well, I tell you what, Tyree Crossman was the one defending.
Here it is. He comes in front there. He then, the ball is loose. He puts his foot, and look at what happens here. He is kicked. He is kicked.
Yeah, but she's saying it's a catch. I'm sure what is. She's saying Crossman extended his leg to impede the action of Dixon. Anyway,
she's wrong.
It's a penalty that the number 10 man, Jaheim Rose, is taking. Rose versus the excellent Chad Green. Rose finds the goal. Went high. And Chad Green went the right way. But Rose went the highway. It's 2-1 to Clarendon College.
I think this is very unfortunate for Charlie Smith. I think this is a poor decision, actually. And especially a game that has been so tight. Why would you want it to come down to something like that? I don't even think that's a 50-50 call. I just wouldn't want a game like this to be decided like that. It's not a catch because there was no body on body to bar the play off of the ball. I think what he was going for was to throw the ball away. You could tell that his foot went to the ball. Dixon kicked the back of his foot. So if anything, it's an infringement against Clarendon College and not a penalty.
Well,
That's a ridiculous call.
Guess what? Referees don't give post-game interviews, but I'm sure Nerissa Golson would say that the action of Tyree Crossman was in the direction of Dixon and not enough in the direction of the ball. Dixon had eyes for the ball, was swinging for the ball, and Crossman's leg went towards Dixon rather than towards the ball, and in her mind he was trying to impede Dixon. That's why she was close to the play and she didn't hesitate in saying penalty. The question, would it be a foul outside the box? Miss Taylor, you're a qualified referee. You answer that question.
I think the whole scenario is ridiculous from her perspective. There's at no point was it obvious. Well,
high boot, Gibbs goes down holding his chin, and the Arnett Gardens bench are saying, oh, a yellow card won't suffice in this instance, but she, beg your pardon, I said Arnett Gardens, I said Charlie Smith, they're from Arnett Gardens, so pardon the expression, viewers. Eugene Williams enraged once again. There have been so many moments for him to vent his spleen at the officials this afternoon. This is another one. He felt this was a red card. This is Beckford had eyes for the ball, but that's dangerous.
Yellow card.
But it's still a yellow card.
Yeah, yellow card.
Or referee agrees with the official on the pitch that the call and the booking was right this time. Beckford gets yellow for a hefty kick.
I think Golson has generally had a good game, actually, even though she's come under fire a lot from Eugene Williams and company. But I definitely think that, and that's the funny thing about officiating, that's a critical decision for the overall match. It's hard to look at the rest of the match when you see that from especially the team who was conceded in that situation. And I hear your explanation. I see you're trying hard with it. But
it's not my explanation. I'm trying to get into the mind of the referee and you're trying to interpret.
But yeah, I certainly think that the trajectory of the foot you would have seen from Crossman was certainly going towards the ball. But anyhow, it's been made. It's gone. It was well converted by Jaheim Rose, who is awarded with his 8th of the season.
You know what, Chris? If the result holds, we're going to have a situation where the two teams that played in blue, the two favorite teams, struggled mightily in this contest and would have gotten through to the semifinals. And both the teams that lost, the teams who were wearing yellow, Garvey Maceo and North Charlie Smith, would believe that they were the better team over the course of the game. In the case of Charlie Smith, they'll feel really aggrieved if they go on to lose the way that they are set to go on to lose. Here's the free kick opportunity. Gibbs once again, but the previous free kick was low and on target. This one is high and off target.
Yeah, spliced it. Didn't go in there with any conviction. I'm wondering if he should have kicked it actually. He looks like he's still suffering a bit from that blow that he had. Still looks a little bit uncomfortable. He's limping as well.
Well, I tell you what, I have a lot of respect for coaches who can get teams who don't have the dazzling talents within their ranks to play well and to organize themselves and to give the fancied teams with the talented players in multiple positions a real game. And Eugene Williams and his coaching staff have really sent out this Charlie Smith team today to play really, 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 really well. And you feel for them slightly if they go on to lose this contest, as they appear set to do. This is Rose, the goal scorer. Douglas to Dixon. Dixon has a pop blocked by Crossman. Here's Douglas trying to find Dixon, but Here comes Brown for Charlie Smith. Takes possession. Can he find a pass? Delayed by the retreating Clarendon College defenders. Brown once again shrugs off a couple challenges and goes down. No free kick. Here's Hull for Clarendon College. Does he take it to the corner flag and waste some time? No, he's intent on another scoring opportunity. Won't have the chance to do that. Narissa Golson has called a halt to proceedings. It is Clarendon College 2, Charlie Smith 1. The record books will show that Clarendon College beat Charlie Smith, but they have advanced to the semi-finals. They have won the game. But Charlie Smith will feel as if they weren't helped by that late penalty call by the referee. They'll feel that today, Clarendon College wasn't a team better than them, wasn't a team deserving of advancing at their expense in the Champions Cup to the semi-finals. The man of the match, Chris Taylor. The man of the match, for the best player I've seen today has been Chad Green, the Charlie Smith goalkeeper, but you couldn't reasonably award him the man of the match in a game that his team have lost.
And maybe someone who made the difference at the end of the day.
Are you saying Rose? Oh.
Yeah. It's been that kind of performance. I think Rushai Parchment, especially in the early stages or for the first half, was brilliant. And in the early stages of the second half, he probably has stood out more than most. I would have to say Timar Dunn has been excellent as well.
Yeah. I'm more likely to give Dunn than Rose, I must tell you.
Well, let's
go with Timar Dunn. Let's go with Timar Dunn. As we look at the highlights of this game. So Timar Dunn gets our man of the match vote. Dixon working with Hull, and Hull's shot low, saved by the goalkeeper, Chad Green, who was very, very good for Charlie Smith this afternoon. And then this moment, Christopher Wilson sent into space by Gibbs. Fouled by Rose. And the referee, Golson, says penalty. 35th minute. Gibbs, Andre Gibbs from 12 yards, sends Vassell the wrong way. 1-0 Charlie Smith. But the lead didn't last long. Just 2 minutes later, look at Parchment, the number 11. Look at how much work he would have put in to this play. The ball comes to Dunn on the edge of the 18-yard box. And that volley is sweet. Very nice connection. And Chad Green, look how many bodies in front of him would have seen that late. Dived the right way. But his right way dive was a late dive. Couldn't keep it out. Tamar Dunn, 1-0. Well, 1-1. And then this chance late in the first half. Kareem Griffiths, the Charlie Smith captain, helped onto the crossbar by Jones's header. And then Dunn's whipped cross in. That goalkeeper Green palmed onto his crossbar and then gathered. And then look at this snapshot from Dixon from some distance. That Green had to go low and help over his crossbar. And this power-packed free kick from Gibbs late in the contest. Reed came on as a second half substitute, played it into the path of Siv Wright. Couldn't shoot. The covering defender almost scored an own goal. And then this controversial moment, Tyree Crossman's foul on Dixon, beg your pardon. Larissa goes and says penalty, and Rose sent it high to the right of the goalkeeper, who dived the right way, in line, but too much power, and the height beat him as well. And that's how Clarendon College punched their ticket to the semi-final of the ISSA Champions Cup for 2021. .61% possession controlled by Clarendon College over the course of the game. There were 16 shots on target, 12 of those shots from Clarendon College. There were 4 yellow cards, 2 apiece. A game of 17 fouls, most of them in the second half. And 6 saves by the Charlie Smith goalkeeper Chad Green, beg your pardon. Chad Green with 6 saves for Charlie Smith and 2 for the Clarendon College goalkeeper Jamil Vassell. Our producer has exercised his right to the man of the match honor, and he has Jaheim Rose lined up to talk to Chris Taylor.
Jaheim, congratulations on the victory. How difficult is it to step up at that kind of moment and to score a clinical penalty to send your team through?
Well, I must admit, a little nerve was there, but I practice it every day in training, so I guess it was a no-brainer for me, as I said before.
There was certainly nothing, well, nervous about the way you executed the kick as well. Right into the roof of the net. Excellent penalty.
All right, thanks.
Tell me, was the performance by Charlie Smith a bit of a surprise to you and your team in terms of how aggressive they were?
Well, we knew they were going to come out here and play us aggressive. I guess the energy in our team caused our performance or down performance, but we were happy that we were able to come here and get the win and advance the next round.
All right, one more question for you. You're a man who has played in the Manning Cup. You're now playing in the Costa Cup. What was the transition like?
Well, the transition wasn't that hard for me. I guess the only thing new for me was like the new environment, as in the new school. But I knew everybody that I was playing with before, in terms of I was playing with them at club already, so it wasn't anything new for me.
All right, Jaheim, congrats to you. Look forward to seeing you in the semi-finals. Rest up, good penalty.
All right, thanks.
Jaheim Rose played initially at Woolmer's Boys and now at Clarendon College, and he was our man of the match. I'm now joined by head coach Eugene Big Head Williams. Eugene.
Play the game just as our Clarendon prepared to play. So, and the game, I would say, we turn up because everybody would expect it was a walkover. But as I would say, credit to my team.
What is your main disappointment with the game? Obviously, you don't like the call.
My main disappointment, the whole Jamaica see and whoever watch the game on SportsMax. Everybody see. So I think I need to say nothing more.
All right. Encouraging performance by Charlie Smith nonetheless. Tough performance as is expected. I will look forward to seeing you soon. All the best.
Man, thank you very much.
Eugene Williams, head coach, a disappointed head coach of Charlie Smith who fought right till the end. I'm now joined by winning head coach Lenny Hyde. Lenny, you've seen it all before, having lifted the first title for Clarendon College years ago. How tough a performance was this for your team?
Very tough, the Charlie Smith team, a very tough team. They are very aggressive. I think we started out well. We're passing the ball, have some possession, but it was a seesaw battle with both teams. I thought we played good in spurts, but I think we can do much better than that.
We have seen you play at a higher tempo, which seems like it works a lot better for Clarendon College. Today, a much slower tempo. Was that instruction or that just happened?
No, it was the way of the Charlie Smith team. They gave us the back third, so we had possession around there, and I think we spent too much time with it around the back. We should have been progressing earlier into the attack, but such is the game. They were backing up and trying to hit us on the counter, and we realized that, so we try and slow down the tempo a bit. But when they push forward, we try and get behind them. And it was a cat and mouse game,
It certainly was. The fact that this game was so tough and pushed you right to the 90th minute, what does that mean for your team? Is that a good thing?
Yeah, man, I think it's a good team. It helps us to be perseverance for a long period of time. And I always told the players that it's 90 minutes the game play for. Sometimes we want to look like we want to finish the game in 60 minutes. But we have to spend time with the ball and play out the 90. And this is a good test for us.
Well, they say an ugly win is better than a pretty loss. So congrats to you and your team, Lenny. We look forward to seeing you in the semi-finals. Take care and safe travels.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so Lenny Hyde there acknowledging the fact that his team wasn't quite at the races today, was still good enough to get the job done. So the results of the quarterfinal games in the ISSA Champions Cups, Dintil, it wasn't 5-1 as we said earlier, but 4-1, beating Stats 4-1, JC 1-0 over Garvey Maceo, Clarendon College beating Charlie Smith 2-1, and Kingston College squeaking by Mannings 1-0. So some tough games for some favourite teams today, but Dintil, JC, Clarendon College and Kingston College all into the semi-final, and the draw would have been made on the SportsMax zone, so you'll know in short order the semi-final pairings in this competition. It's been a good day of football. Both teams in yellow who lost today, Garvey Maceo and Clarendon College, would have felt as if really that ounce of luck that they needed wasn't quite with them today, and JC and Clarendon College would know that they got out of jail somewhat, but they have the chance to play even better when the semi-finals come around.